Hello there, Dragonballtoys! How's it going? It is I, Old Fan, here again, and today we're going to be talking about really what I consider to be a very special Goku figure, and that is the Super Battle Collection Volume 00 Perfect Version Son Goku. Dragonballtoys over the last, certainly the last, 10 years, 5 years especially, have become so good. I mean, the figure arts, all the stuff that we've had from Banpresto, all different varieties of Dragonballtoys have improved phenomenally. I mean, I think some of the vinyl stuff that Banpresto has released again in the last 5 years have just been they've looked like things that have leapt off of the television screen. I think I only have one figure arts to my name, which is the teen Son Gohan, which is like the first release of it, I'm pretty sure. And I'd like to get the other ones. I mean, but it's an investment, and I don't really feel like it's an investment I don't really feel like making. But I do appreciate appreciating other people's collections. Watching other people's collections of the figure arts Dragon Ball Z collection. And I do look forward to them releasing even more of them. I love the ones that they are releasing for the revival of F. In fact, there are some people. I think in one of Goshen's videos about them. Shout out to Goshen. How's it going, girl? I know she mentioned, I think it was her that mentioned that people were saying that they sort of looked like bootlegs, and they kind of do, and so of course that appeals to my taste. They do. They sort of looked like really high-quality bootleg figures, especially the Goku. And the Frieza looks amazing. But before all of that, there were really very few Dragon Ball toys in existence at the time, and the time that we're talking about is 1998. I have to say, this was, as far as I can remember, this was never released into the United States under any proper release. I could be mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, it was released, I think, in Mexico, because Mattel released a lot of the SBC figures in Mexico. It's been a long time since I really studied up on my Dragon Ball toys, so as far as, where it was released otherwise in the world, but it's a well-known Japanese release from 1998. I don't remember the history well enough to say when exactly 1998, where that fell in terms of what SBC figures had already been released at that time. I think the original SBC line, I think the first line of the first 5 or 6 figures had been released in 1991, if I'm not mistaken. So 1998 is, certainly further into that lifespan of that line, the SBC line. I don't know. So I don't know exactly when, where we were in the series when this Volume 00 special, perfect version Son Goku set was released. But in a tremendous number of respects, it was far and away, one of the best Super Battle Collection releases. The sculpt on this Goku is so much higher quality than so many of the original SBC releases. I mean, the SBC Super Saiyan 3 Son Goku is just a legend in how bad it was. So to see this, just blew people's minds. It blew my mind when I first started collecting Dragon Ball toys. This was one of the first figures I absolutely had to have. Because it just looked so beautiful, and there was nothing, in my mind at the time anyway, there was no other, there was no better Goku figure, especially at this scale. I wasn't aware, there just wasn't anything. I mean, at the time that I got this, Irwin hadn't even put out you know, its toys yet. I mean, Jakks Pacific was like, you know, in the distant future. So I think there was a time where this Goku was sort of like the, you know, the crowning Goku, or certainly one of them. I mean, that's debatable. And if you'd like to debate me on that, I mean, certainly tell me which figures around those years of Goku you think were better. There's probably some that I'm forgetting. I mean, there's probably definitely some that I'm forgetting, because again, it's been a long time since I've really, you know, boned up and studied up on the archives and annals of Dragon Ball toy history. But what can I say? For me, at least, this is one that's very close to my heart. You know, the proportions of Goku are pretty perfect as far as I'm concerned. The fact that, you know, with both sets of arms, it just looks so good. The 3 heads are amazing. This is an incredible base Goku head sculpt. I mean, the hair is just done so impeccably. It does look like at least some, you know, pieces of Akira Toriyama art just completely brought to life. You know, he doesn't have a lot of articulation, and that's a lot of people's criticism of this figure, is that it just does not have a lot of articulation. In fact, it really is only in the arms and the head, and that's it. And so it is more of a statue than an action figure. So, you know, certainly in terms of that, you know, by today's standards, you know, the figure arts has this thing beat completely. And I would say that, you know, some of the sculptures, you know, that have come out, the more statuesque, you know, certainly some of, like, in my opinion, some of the vinyl Banpresto Gokus and other characters, I mean, yeah, they do kind of trump this, you know, beyond belief in some respects by, you know, with those standards in mind. This is the regular Super Saiyan head. Again, really, really, really beautiful. I'm going to put the Super Saiyan 2 head on. One little thing that is a problem is that the skin tone on the face is different than the skin tone of the body. That isn't a problem with the regular base Goku head. It's also a problem with the Super Saiyan 2 head. And it's also a problem with the Super Saiyan 3 head, so that is one thing I can say that is an issue. It's also a problem with these arms, but it's not a problem with these arms. So if you want him to match entirely as far as skin color, you would have to do that. But anyway, yeah, so, you know, I do think that, you know, but I think as a figure that has some articulation, has the whole head swapping thing, so it's, you know, essentially it's like 4, you know, versions of Goku all in one figure. You know, at this particular scale, with this level of articulation, with the head swapping thing, it just ends up being, you know, one of the coolest, most consistently well sculpted, like less, what's the word I'm trying to say? You know, a lot of figures with heavy articulation. The sculpt itself, yeah, it takes a hit. It gets compromised. That's the word I'm looking for, because of the way the figure has to perform and move and be articulate. And this is just sort of a very, I mean, what I think some people would consider sort of a conservative, but a successful, you know, hybrid of the two. Some articulation, great sculptural accuracy and effect, as well as you know, doing the head swapping thing. Besides, with notably the exception of the skin tone thing being an issue, you know, just other than that, doing it really quite flawlessly and beautifully. So really love this figure. Probably some of the best Super Saiyan 3 hair ever. Maybe a little flat over here. Certainly some of the, like, again, vinyl Banpresto figures have done better, you know, with that, certainly. I mean, it's come a long way over the years, but considering the time that this was sculpted and that period of Dragon Ball toy history and what else was available at the time, just incredible. I wouldn't be surprised if these had come out sometime around the time that the GT figures in the SBC line were being released, because of course, as much as I am not crazy about GT, it is sort of a long-standing tradition in Dragon Ball toys that the GT toys are always much, much higher quality. Again, I just can't remember exactly what years go with what. But anyway, so that was a quick look, well, maybe not so quick look, we'll see when I check out how long this video is, at the Vol.00 Perfect Version Son Goku Super Battle Collection figure with the base Goku, Super Saiyan 1, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3 head swaps. And yeah, we'll be looking at something else very, very soon. So thank you all for watching. All the best, and bye for now. Whoosh.